Wow, what a season finale. We beat the Donkeys and the streak continues. I think they said it was 8 games that it's been that we've beaten them. Yes, the streak continues. Oh man, another great game, like, just by everybody, by the defense, offense, special teams, like the game management. It was just like another great game all around. All right, so let's get into it. So first quarter, Jacoby Myers does a run in touchdown after it looked like he was going to throw it. Because I guess he like I guess I think they'd mentioned it before that he was like a quarterback or something, either in college or in high school, and he couldn't find anyone to throw to, so he just like ran it in. So hats off to Jacoby Myers there. So yeah, so it's 7-7 in the first quarter, and then this in the second quarter it scared the hell out of me. It scared the hell out of me when Aiden O'Connell fumbled the football. It looked like he fumbled the football, and the Broncos got it. Like I think it was almost in. I think it was like near our end zone, and I was like, "Oh, great! Now they're gonna get it." But luckily they called it back because he was throwing it forward, and it wasn't like the ball was knocked out of his hand, so that's better. Then the Raiders got a field goal from that, and there was this great pass that Aiden O'Connell threw, 47 yards to it was Trey Tucker. It was Trey Tucker he threw it to. That pass just looked beautiful. Devontae Adams had a touchdown in the second quarter, and then in the like the defense just played well all game, but in the third quarter in particular, I think no, they did it twice. I think once in the third quarter and once in the fourth quarter, the Raiders defense stopped the Broncos from getting a fourth down, and these were like close. Like I think one was like 4th and 1, and the other was like 4th and 3 that the Raiders defense stopped them on. Then in the fourth quarter, Jacoby Myers gets another touchdown. He got two today. The Broncos score one, and then the Raiders do some really good clock management. Okay, so the Raiders at this point, what was it? I think it was like 14 to what was it, 20 or 21 or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. But the Raiders basically ran down the clock to what? I think there was only like two something left. And I think they burned like 7 or 8 minutes off of the clock with, like run, and then pass, get a first down. And it was like really well, it just worked really well, like with the game management, from the coaching staff, Antonio Pierce and everybody, but also from Aiden O'Connell. He had some really great throws, and times where he almost got sacked, but he still was able to make a play. And then it finally ends with Trevor Moore getting an interception, and he just like slid right into it. It was almost like a baseball slide when he grabbed it. And this is just a really just all around great game. It wasn't like that one side had to do something and so the other side could do it. It's like they both once again were playing, both sides of the ball were playing really well. And yeah, so we end the season 8-9, technically still a losing season, but I mean, what with Antonio Pierce? What because we lost against the Colts. I think we lost against the Dolphins and then the Chiefs, right? So I think he had like 3 losses. When did he? I'm trying to remember when he started. When did he first? Oh, I don't remember. I know. No, he started against the Giants. He started against the Giants. Oh my god. Well, anyway, I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you know I think there's roughly only 3 to 4 losses that we had, and we won the rest of the games. And I'm hearing through, I'm seeing all kinds through the different news sources and different like Raiders media talking about that the Raiders, maybe in talk with Jim Harbaugh, and I understand. I understand why. I mean, he's a good coach. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he had to start with the Raiders. I think he was. I don't know if he was the. I want to say he was a quarterback coach for us in the early 2000s, but I could be wrong. He was either quarterback or some kind of offensive coach for us in the past, which I understand. I guess I understand that, but I really think that Mark Davis should give Antonio Pierce a shot. At least give him a season. Give him a whole season. Even if even if you don't want to sign like a crazy multi-year deal, which he shouldn't do. Like Mark Davis is really bad at that. Like signing John Gruden to a 10-year deal, signing Josh McDaniels to I think it was like a what was a 5 or 6 year deal or something like that. No, what? Or maybe like a 2 year deal. So maybe like, we'll make it fair. Make it like a 2 year deal, and I think that would be fair. I think he's earned it. I really think that Antonio Pierce has earned this. And there may be some people who disagree. There may be some people who say, "Oh no, bring in Jim Harbaugh. he's in college ball and he's won a Super Bowl and he's been with the Raiders before. I understand that, but it's just I don't want to do that. I really do not want to do that. I do not want history to repeat itself again. And we've been shown that it doesn't work, right? Like literally, I don't get like there's some people like, oh, well, Mark Davis wants to bring in a big name coach. I'm sorry, but who gives a damn who's coach? Like I don't give a damn about a big name coach. Okay, I care about if the coach is doing their job to coach us to win games, picking out the right players, picking out the right draft picks. That's what I care about. I could give a flying fuck who it is, but but there's some people. I mean, he is. Mark Davis has been guilty of that. He's like, oh well, I just want a big name coach. Who cares? Who cares? There's a lot of teams that are really great right now who I don't know their coaches, like the Ravens. I don't know who their coach is. you know, they're doing well. Like the Dolphins. He was just like some ball boy. Like 10 or 15 years ago. I think he was a ball boy for the Broncos. Then now he's the Dolphins coach. So it's like you don't need like a big name coach, and that doesn't. I really hope that Mark Davis doesn't do that, and I hope he gets that stupid idea out of his head because really, like big names don't mean nothing. Like if it's a big name and it's a flop, then okay, then congratulations, you're gonna have more media scrutiny and stuff because you have a big name coach that's screwing up, and I really don't want to see that happen. So I really hope that he. I mean, like I said, this doesn't have to even be a long deal. Sign like a 2 or 3 year deal with Antonio Pierce just to see if it works out. I mean, what do you have to lose? Like, I don't know, but who knows if that'll happen? That may be unrealistic of me to hope that, but I really hope that Mark Davis really sits down and looks at it, especially like how the players are, because the players were playing for Antonio Pierce, and I think like him being a former like not all a lot of coaches, they were former players like in college and stuff. Some of them played in the NFL, some of them didn't. But the fact that Antonio Pierce played in the NFL, he played at a high level, he won a Super Bowl as a player. I think that helps players because they it's more they like I've said before, it's more relatable to the players. Like they see as like one of your own. Like even like in a normal job setting, right? Like I prefer the manager who's like in the trenches with you and like is versus like the manager who's like very distant, like, oh no, just go do this. And like I have more respect for like people in leadership positions that are actually in the trenches with you and they're more relatable rather than they're just like standing over you and be like, well, go do this, I don't have time to help you here, you go do this. Like, no, screw that. I guess I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but that's kind of what I'm saying is that he's won the players over. And I think that if you can have a coach that the players want to play for. Because you saw with McDaniels, they did not want to play with him, and that's why the Raiders sucked. When they were being coached by him, is because they didn't want to play with McDaniels. They didn't want to play for him. He was being a dickhead, and they didn't want to play with him. So I really hope that that's the case, but not really too bad of a season. Not really. I mean, we had some downs. We had some really bad games with McDaniels and the frustration going on with there. But I mean, we saw what we got in Aiden O'Connell. We saw some great stuff from Trey Tucker. We saw some great stuff from Michael Mayer. I think he's really going to be good for us going forward. Tyree Wilson, that was I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another season, but I think he was kind of a miss on our draft. I'm trying to think out of our other draft picks. Obviously, Aiden O'Connell. I think he'll turn out well for us. Yeah, I mean that's all I could think of off the top of my head. I know there's way more draft picks that we made, but off the top of my head, that's what I can think of. And now, like a lot of people are saying that this might be Josh Jacobs' final season with us. It might be Hunter Renfro's final season. I mean, I hope not, but I could see it happening. I mean, they've been on the team for like 4 or 5 years, and especially if they were wanting higher and higher contracts, then I guess I could see it happening. I don't want to see him go. I love Renfro. I mean, he's kind of been missing still. Like, yeah, I think Renfro probably will be gone, which sucks because I mean he was a really good component to the offenses in the past, and I really don't want to see Josh Jacobs go, but he might end up going too. But I mean, Zamir White did a solid job replacing him. I don't think we should just go with him leading forward. I mean, like, I think maybe we could maybe draft another running back and try to have like a committee kind of running back kind of thing. But I don't know. This offseason will be very interesting to see what players come, what players go, who stays, and obviously who Mark Davis hires as a coach. So I'm really hoping that he does he just tries it. Just try something different. Like, don't do the same thing, going after a big name coach, because that doesn't always guarantee a winning franchise for the future. So I really hope that Mark Davis doesn't do that. He made the right decision by firing Josh McDaniels when he did, and hopefully he continues to make the right decision. But yeah, this has been a pretty, the second half of the season was much better than the first half. Got a record game against the Chargers. We stole the Chiefs game at Christmas. We kept the Broncos streak alive, beating them 8 times. So, and it looks really promising for some of our draft picks. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoy this recap and all the recaps I've done this season. I've enjoyed doing them again, and yeah, see you later. I'll probably do one for the Super Bowl. I did one last year, so I think I'll do it again for the Super Bowl. But anyway, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time.